Hey man, I do what I do.
Let's talk about El Salvador. President Bukele has already made it clear that once you're in their system, you will never leave. And El Salvador's prisons are designed to be human warehouses. They hold tens of thousands of inmates in brutal conditions. And once you sit there, your chances of survival is slim. So to my young black brothers, right, who are involved in gangs and violence and criminal activity, I want you to listen. See that unalived, that charge, that red rum charge, that can mean life in prison. Not in America, but in a foreign country where you will never see your family again. If you caught up in the system, you could be deported to El Salvador, locked in a concrete box with limited food, limited medical service, and no way out. If you're involved in criminal activity, if you're given this system the perfect excuse to erase you from history, then it might. And don't think it only applies to these immigrants. This applies. They will definitely make you, as a black man, the primary candidate. Let's be clear. The government is already doing this to immigrants. It's sending foreign-born gang members and innocent African people who have done nothing but show up to the country illegally. So I guess they're not in it. But they anyway. They send in Jamaicans and Haitians, and they send them to Central American prisons. They send a bunch of Africans to Panama. You think they're only going to do it to Latinos now? After they finish targeting them, they'll come back around to us. Because remember, we're not next, we were first. So this is no longer just about making choices. This is about survival. Okay? The days of that gang culture and all that sort of stuff, and there's probably not going to be any second chances, and the laws are changing and the prisons are expanding. It's not a game. It's not a joke. All right? And this is my warning to you. Now, that being the case, black people, we have to unite or we will be erased. And this gender war is a distraction. While we're here fighting each other, the system is preparing to do to black men and black boys and black women what it has always done: lock them up, destroy their lives, and leave black women to suffer alone. If you are a black woman and you understand this, okay, the men who are supposed to protect and provide you are being erased. The system is targeting your fathers, your sons, your brothers, everybody you love. Okay? So it's time for that division to end, this artificial division. It's time for unity. It's time for us to change today. Look, there's two choices that we have. All right. We can keep fighting each other over and over again on the internet. Right. We can just talk about each other back and forth on the internet as black folk. We can just keep doing it. Okay. We can keep blaming each other and watching our communities destroyed. Okay. We can do that. Or we can wake up, we can come together, and we can fight for our survival as a unified force. I tell you, brothers, leave these streets alone. Because the consequences are no longer just prison, they're exile, abandonment, and destruction. Black women, stop being distracted by this gender war. Stop getting baited into that fight. Yeah, it might have been somebody that hurt your feelings, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But now it's too much on the line. Your men are going to be targeted. And when they're gone, you'll be next. But recognize that this system has always used division to destroy us. It's time to stop playing that game. We need to prioritize our lives, our families, and our futures. And that time is now. We need to stand together. Look, let me make this clear. For everybody listening, there's a reason why foundational Black American people are minding our business. It's a reason why we're resting. It's a reason why we're not falling for the latest round of political upheaval. We're not throwing ourselves into another battle that doesn't serve us, and we're not going to be used as cannon fodder. See, we refuse to play along. We are resting. And what they trying to do to get us off the bench, to get us out of our hammocks, right? They're going to resort to the oldest trick in the book, turning black men and black women against each other. They're going to push the narrative that black men are somehow keeping black women from whatever. Black men are not doing something. They're going to manufacture division and kick up the animosity. But see, here's the truth. They don't want you to focus. They don't want you to focus on black men and black women on the fact that we're actually on the same page. I told you this before. I'm going to tell you it again. 86% of black men voted for Kamala Harris in 2024. That's more than any other group. There's no major ideological split between us, black men and black women. We are not at war. So why the sudden push to try to get us up to the front? Why? And since we said we're resting, why are they now trying to get us divided? Because they need us to fight each other to keep us from realizing our real power. This isn't new, this divide and conquer thing. They've always used division to weaken us. After slavery, they convinced black women that black men were irresponsible and dangerous so they could justify mass incarceration and targeting us and bringing us into the prison system. They did that. During the civil rights movement, they told black women that black men were holding them back and that this magical black patriarchy somehow was oppressing black women the same way white men oppressed white women. Even though we were fighting the same battle against white supremacy, that managed to convince black women to go run and help white women get their freedom and their rights. In the 1980s and 1990s, they weaponized welfare policies and family courts to separate black men from their households, brainwashing you into believing that black men ain't nothing, they're deadbeat daddies, they don't love their kids, and they don't love you. That's what they did. And now, because we're united in our decision to sit this round out, they're about to start trying to create this fake gender war. They'll kick it up again to weaken our collective stance. They're scrambling because we're no longer playing their game. We have reached a certain level of political sophistication, and we good. See, if we fought each other, they wouldn't have to work so hard to control us. They can give you a little bit and give you a little, give him a little bit, give him it, and they could control us like that. If we blame each other, we wouldn't look at the real problem. And the system that has always manipulated, used us and discarded us. But see, I think we see the play now. I think we know what happens next. And so now they're desperate for black bodies to be on the front lines. The truth is the political establishment is panicking, okay? Especially the Democrats who've had control of us for so long. They see black people who have historically been their backbone, hell, the backbone of every major movement in this country, are no longer rushing to the front lines to fight battles that don't serve us. You don't see any black outrage. You don't see much black activism. You see a couple of old politicians out there. Yeah, let me tell your name. Hey, you see a couple of that. But you don't see black bodies in the street. We're not showing up. They tried shaming us and they said, unity. We've always been there for you. It didn't work. They tried guilt tripping us. We ignored it. We resting. Next up, they're going to try to make it seem like black men are the problem, hoping that black women will rise up just to spite black men. But that's a setup. They're going to try to use that old gender war that they manufactured in some kind of way, make it seem like black men are the fault. That's a setup. But see, again, the reality is this. The reason black women aren't in the streets isn't because of black men. It's because black people collectively, foundational black American people, are choosing to step back from a system that has used us for centuries. We have watched as others benefited from our struggles while leaving us behind. We've seen the government hand out policies to every other group while continuing to ignore foundational black American issues. We are tired of being the permanent whipping boy and underclass, and then turn around and expect to fight while everybody else reaps the reward. This is not about division between black men and black women. This is about black people as a whole realizing that we no longer have to be pawns. So let them talk. Let them push the false narratives, because we know the truth. We're finally moving in the unit, and that's what truly scares them. The era of manipulating black people is over. We're thinking for ourselves, we're moving strategically, and we're choosing unity over division. That's a real power play. And they can't stand it. This is Uncle D. I love you all. God bless y'all. I hope y'all had a good time with me tonight on this adventure. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit the #1 button. And I appreciate everybody who learned something today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to all the folks, and big shout out to that young lady cooking with Kai. Shout out to the other little lady, Glorilla. She got some catchy beats. But nevertheless, this is Uncle D. I love you guys. And as I always said this time, I am out.
You are now listening to the boss, right? Quarters now in session, hit subscribe, give it all likes. Content for the wise that survive, you can floss, right? Blizzard King, Uncle D. Told me years ago it's getting cold, yeah, she by the phone. Kevin told you she ain't listen, buy a dog, die alone. Talking, they ain't listen, so fuck the talk. Business class, pop my business, catching flights, walk the walk, turn the volume up. Want no trouble, BA double sauce. Internet, catfish, caught him, turn his TV off. Kill your Wi-Fi, block your trolls. We up early, zooming out on conference call, calling them with Dennis Spurling. In and out of court proceedings, big bags ain't gotta worry, guilty being innocent. I ain't even hear the verdict, ear to the streets like Uncle D. Stay on all the topics, from New Orleans, taking off, blasting like a Houston rocket. Don't get out of pocket, popping like some Crisco. Urban politics will leave you leaking, that's for shit show. This is for the sub, showing love, dropping stack for stack, pay